Hello guys and welcome to our new math session. Today's not gonna be a new lesson, it's gonna be percentage review. So let's focus together, but before we start, we have to have our brain teasing question. So this information was found on website. Modern bronze is typically 88% copper and 12% tin. A small bronze statue has a mass of 160 grams. Work out the masses of copper and tin in this statue. So just pause this video for 5 minutes to solve this question and then come back to me. Okay, so let's start here by finding out the mass of copper. So the mass of copper is 88% of the mass of the statue, all of it. So it's 88% times 160. So it's gonna be 88%. It's gonna be I convert it into decimal or fraction as you wish. Both of them are correct. So I prefer here to change it into decimal, so 0.88 times 160 and multiply it here is going to be equal to 160 times 88 and ignoring the decimal point and multiplying normally it's going to be 0 times 8 equals 0, 6 times 8 equals 8 and carry a 4, 1 times 8 equals 8 plus 4 equals to 12. And after that, don't forget to put the 0 down. And after that, 0 times 8 is going to be equal to 0. 6 times 8 is going to be equal to 48. So 8 and carry a 4. 1 times 8 is going to be 8 plus 4 equals to 12. And then we add. So 0 plus 0 equal to 0, and 8 plus 0 equals to 8, 2 plus 8 equals to 0, and carry up 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3, plus 1 equals 4, and the 1 will come down. So it's going to be 14,080. But don't forget to bring back the decimal point. So the decimal point was here. So it's after two steps from the right. So 1, 2. So I have to count 1, 2. So I will put the point here. So here the mass of copper is going to be equal to 140.80 grams. Okay, so let's get the mass of tin. So you can get it by two ways here. To 12% of 160 and multiply 0.12 times 160 by this method, by this multiplication method, you will find that the answer is going to be equal to 19.20 grams. Or just to subtract 160 minus 140.80 is going to be equal to the same number, which equals to 19.20 grams. Let me tell you something here. Because here this statue is just made of copper and tin, so I just get the copper mass and then subtract it from the total mass, which is 10. Okay, so do you understand the other method? But take care, because this method, the second method here, which is subtraction, it just based on the based on my answer. So take care of that, because if I made this wrong, the mass of 10 is gonna be wrong. So take care of that, either to make sure of this answer or just to make it with the first method here, which is 0.12 times 160. Okay, so let's have our classwork. I need you to pause this video to solve these three questions in 10 minutes and then come back to me. Okay, so first question, write these fractions as percentages. So the first one here, I have 3 over 4. Okay, so to make it percentage, I have to make sure that the denominator is going to be 100. So how to change this 4 into 100? How to do that? Yes, by multiplying by its best friend. So the best friend of 4 is going to be 25, and whatever you're doing down, you have to make it up. So I will multiply by 25 up. So the answer is going to be here, 3 times 25 is going to be 75, and 4 times 25 is going to be 100. So it's the denominator is 100, so I'm taking the numerator only and write it down with percent sign next to it. So the answer is going to be 75%. Okay, question number B. 3 over 10, I need to make the denominator 100 to make it percentage. So it's very easy. This question is very easy. I will just add a 0 down and add a 0 up. Or multiplying by 10 up and down. So it's going to be 30 over 100, which is going to be equal to 30%. Okay, question number C. 3 over 20. So what's the best friend of 2? Here, what's the best friend of the denominator? 2. The best friend of 2 is 5, as we said in the previous video, so I will multiply by 5 down and up. So it's gonna be here 15 over 100. So the denominator is 100. So I'm taking the numerator only and put percent sign next to it. So it's gonna be 15%. Okay, question number D, 3 over 50. It's a very easy question. I will just look at the denominator is 50. So I need to think what's the best friend of 50? It's gonna be 2 because the best friend of 5 is 2. Whatever I'm doing down, I have to make it up. So I will multiply by 2 up. And after that, I will just multiply 3 times 2 is going to be equal to 6. And 50 times 2 is going to be 100. So it's going to be 6 over 100. And to make it percentage, so I are taking this numerator and put it next to the percent sign. So it's going to be 6%. Okay, let's go to question number 2. Question number 2 here. 70%, I need to write it down as a fraction as simply as possible. So 70%, it means it's 70 over 100. And let's simplify it. I will just remove the 0 up with the 0 down, or it means I divided by 10 up and down. So it's going to be equal to 7 over 10. Okay, so question number B, 60%. It means 60 over 100, and removing a 0 up and a 0 down is going to be 6 over 10. And after that, I can simplify it more by dividing both of them by 2. So 6 divided 2 equal to 3, and 10 divided 2 equals to 5. So it's going to be 3 over 5. This is a fraction in its simplest form. Question number C, 4%, it's going to be 4 over 100. And if you thought about a common timetable between 4 and 100, I would just rather to divide by 4, both of them up and down. So 4 divided 4 equals 1, and 100 divided 4 equals to 25. And this is the simplest form, of course, for this number. Okay, question number D is a little bit tricky because it has a fraction next to it. It's 12.5%. And because it's 12 and a half, I can write it down 12.5%. 12.5%, it means 12.5 over 100. But we cannot have a fraction like that. Fraction with a decimal, no, I cannot write it down like that. So I have to move this decimal one step to the right to just get rid of it. So I will just move it one step to the right. So how can I do that? How can I move a decimal point to the right one step? Yes, multiplying by 10 up and down. So multiplying by 10, I would just make it 125 over 1000. And after that, simplify. If I divide it by 125 up and down, the answer is going to be 1 over 8. Okay, so question number E, 35%. It's going to be 35 over 100. So I'm thinking of a number to divide by 35 and 100. So it's 5. So think about the divisibility rules. You will find 5. So 35 divided by 5 is going to be equal to 7. And 100 divided by 5 is going to be equals to 20. And if you think about it here, you will not find any common timetable between 7 over 20. So this is the simplest form for this fraction. Okay, so let's go to question number 3. Question number 3a, I have to write each percentage as a decimal. So 90%, I need to convert it into a decimal. How to do that? So if you wrote it down here before as a fraction, it's over 100. And as I said before, we have that the fraction form, it's just a form of division. So it's going to be here 70 divided by 100. And here it's going to be the same here, 90 divided by 100. And if you divide it by 100, you are just moving the decimal point 2 steps to the left. So it's going to be 0.90. And I just remove the 0 here on the right because it means nothing. So the answer here is going to be 0.9. Okay, question number B, it's 9%. So it's the same thing. I'm moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right. So it's going to be 0.09. Question number C, 0.9%. I'm moving the decimal point to the left 2 steps. So it's going to be equal to 0.009. Okay, so let's have another classwork. I need you to solve these 3 questions in just 10 minutes and then come back to me. Okay, so question number 4 here. Here are 5 numbers: 0.65, 69%, 0.8, 2 over 3, and 3 over 4. I need to write down the largest number. So first, I have to make them the same thing, the same form, to be able to compare them. So I just made them as like decimals. 0.65, it's decimal already. After that, 0.69, because I changed this percentage into decimal, so it's going to be 0.69. And after that, 0.8, it's decimal form already. 2 over 3, it means 0.666666, like infinite division, because it's 2 divided 3 is going to be infinite division, which means it's 0.666, like recurring decimals. Okay, so 3 over 4, if you change it by the best friend of 4, it's going to be 25, and up it's 25, so it's going to be 0.75. So here, right now, I can answer this question. I can write down the largest number. So what's the largest number here in this list? Yes, it's 0.8. So the largest number is 0.8. And question number B is to write down the smallest number. So what's the smallest number here? Here's 0.7, 0.6, 0.8, 0.6, 0.6. I have three 0.6. So let's go to the next door for every number here. So it's 5, 9, and 6. 5, 9, and 6, which means that 0.65 is the smallest number. So the smallest number is going to be 0.65. Okay, let's go to question number 5. Question number 5 here, work out these quantities. So I have 2 over 3 of 60. So I will just divide 60 by 3. So it's going to be equal to 20. So 20 times numerator, which is 2. So it's going to be equals to 40. 40 centimeters. Okay, question number B, 3 over 4 of 60, just I'm doing it with the same method. 60 divided 4 is going to be equals to, here is going to be equals to 15. 15 times 3 is going to be equal to 45. Okay, question number C, 4 over 5 of 60. So I will just divide 60 by 5, which means it's going to be equals to 12, and I will multiply this 12 by 4, so which is going to be equals to 48. Question number D, and the last one in this question, 5 over 6 of 60. So I would just divide 60 by 6, which means it's going to be equals to 10. And after that, take this 10 multiplied by 5, which is going to be equals to 50. Okay, let's go to question number 6. There are 600 people in concert hall. 2 over 5 of them are teenagers. 3 over 8 of the teenagers are girls. How many teenage girls are there in the concert hall? So let's get first the number of teenagers. Teenagers is going to be equals to 2 over 5 times 600, because this is the number of teenagers. So I will just make it like the previous question. 600 divided by 5 is going to be equals to 12 120, and I will just multiply it by 2, so the answer is going to be 240 teenagers. And the number of girls of the teenagers is going to be 3 over 8 of them. So 3 over 8 times 240, I will just divide 240 by 8, which means it's going to be equal to 30. And after that, multiply by its numerator, which is 3. So 30 times 3 equals to 90 teenage girls. Okay, guys, this is our lesson today. I hope that you understand everything here. Your homework is going to be page 82. I will just made it on Google Classroom. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful day.